Welcome to Superstitions, Traditions, and Definitions. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Carol.
Mm-hmm.
All day.
All the day long.
You know it.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Superstitions.
Duh. Oh. We have a little myriad of dollies here.
Those are my favorite dollies.
Mm.
We're going to talk about gnomes today.
No, we're not.
We are.
Oh, sweet.
And we're going to hang with my gnomies.
With your little gnomies?
Yeah.
Are we rolling with the gnomies?
We're rolling with the gnomies
today. Nice. Look at all the gnome puns that we've got.
I know.
Sad, kind of silly. And
It's because we're old, Carol.
No, well, yeah, I mean, some of us are, but you're not. Such a tiny baby child.
Gray hair.
So
I have a kid in college.
I've got 2 kids in college.
Yeah. So you're twice as old as I am.
Yes, that's what it is. I'm in my 80s.
You're in your 80s.
Left my cane over there.
You want to talk about gnomes? Do you
Naturally,
love them?
I don't know. I have my gnome that you made me a couple of years ago for Christmas.
Yeah,
it's still on still on the fireplace. It's on the mantle.
Good. That's a great place for them.
Yeah, it's kind of dusty. I need to shake him out.
That would be nice. They don't like to be dusty.
Probably not.
He's going to be mad about it.
I don't care.
You might when he starts causing a ruckus in your house.
No. I'll put him in the fireplace then.
Oh, holy moly.
My house. He doesn't need to act like a dick.
He's there to protect your house.
Well, then do it. And shut up about it.
But he doesn't like being dirty.
How do you know?
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you exactly how I know.
Well, aren't they in the garden most of the time?
Mm-hmm.
You know what's in the garden? Dirt.
They have been around since the ancient of times.
Ooh.
The Romans used the statues to protect plants and animals.
From?
Everything. Like all the bad.
Rain. Sun.
I mean, if they were shade, yes. If they're shade plants, yes, I'm sure they would protect them from the sun. They would ensure good harvest and keep evil spirits away.
Away from the garden?
Away from the garden.
And the livestock. The evil spirits go to the garden?
I'm going to assume they spent a lot of time there.
I don't know.
So the Romans were like, you know what? We got to fix this.
Let's stick this little fella out here in the yard.
So primarily they used a statue of one of their gods that they adopted from the Greeks.
Mm-hmm. The god of gnomes?
No.
Gnome god?
The god Priapus.
Okay.
He was the god of fertility. So it made sense to put him in the garden.
Okay. Because that's where we get babies from the Cabbage Patch.
Yes.
Is that it?
That is how Cabbage Patches came to be. No, he was the god of fertility, but he was also the protector of livestock's garden and fruit plants.
Fruit plants?
Yes.
Not flowers?
Not flowers.
Why?
I don't know.
Flowers are my favorite.
Fruit plants.
Oh.
He was also the god of the male genitals. He was busy. He had to god so much.
I guess so.
Okay, he had fertility and livestock and gardens and fruit plants, and he had to protect all the male genitalia.
All the nuts.
Mm-hmm.
What a thing. Hey, what are you god of?
So,
me, I'm just god of flowers and rainstorms and things like that. Who would want to be?
You know, as many gods and goddesses as they had, I would think they wouldn't have to like double duty like that.
Maybe they want to.
What happens if somebody's trying to, what if an evil spirit is going after this garden over here and that man's genitals over there
at the same time?
What does he do?
I would pick the garden. Pick the garden.
Yeah.
That guy can fight for himself.
That's right.
I mean, I think so. He's got little, chop you up. The garden's not going to have that.
The garden has nothing.
You're going to step on the green beans, and then you have no green beans.
And then yeah.
What do we do? What are we going to snap in
There
Grandma's
are penises
kitchen?
everywhere.
There, Yes, and they can run away. Not the penis, the whole person can run away.
I've never seen one run, but okay.
I mean, well, maybe you should get out more.
I probably should.
No, I think you get out plenty. I haven't got to jail yet, but
not to jail yet. I'm alone, but whatever. But whatever, I get out plenty.
Yeah. More than me. You travel around and stuff.
I do.
Take it on the road.
Take my children, my birth control.
Okay, were they the gods of birth control as well?
No.
Why?
I don't know. So he is depicted,
yes,
as having a very large penis.
Oh, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. So he's the son of Dionysus and Aphrodite.
Okay, gotcha. Following now.
Hera was real mad at Aphrodite, and so she cursed Aphrodite while she was pregnant with Priapus.
Okay.
So he was
laughing at, I'm sure.
The curse.
Cursed him with a large wiener.
Hera's curse was he would be ugly, foul-minded, and have an extra large phallus, but inconvenient impotence.
That took some thinking, didn't it?
It did. Mm-hmm. So Priapus walks around with an erect phallus.
Well, he doesn't walk too comfortably then, does he?
He doesn't.
Kind of staggers.
Except during sexual intercourse. The erection goes away and he can't get it back up. And that was the curse from Hera.
Gotcha. Hera cursed his mother by putting all of this on him. Does that make sense to you?
It doesn't make no. But there is not a whole lot that Hera did that made sense to me.
Was Hera just stupid?
Yeah.
Was she special?
She was creative.
Not really. I mean,
but kind of dumb with her creativity.
Okay.
It happens sometimes.
Yes, it does.
It happens sometimes. So that is kind of where gnomes started.
Okay. How did they go from walking around hung like a horse to being in the garden and such?
I don't know. I don't
Was
know.
it all the sexual frustration?
Probably.
He went out to the garden
to the garden to play.
Okay. Take his mind off of it.
Gotcha.
So I like that we say the same things a lot.
So there are two different types of gnomes.
Okay.
There are the Scandinavian gnomes.
Oh, which
are these little guys.
Oh, they don't have any feet.
They don't have eyeballs. They are covered.
Hands.
No, well, some of them do.
Oh, is everything under their beard? And we just don't know it.
So the Scandinavian gnomes.
No, I don't see any hands. I don't see any large wiener either.
No.
False advertising.
False advertisement. So the Scandinavian gnomes will always be depicted with their eyes closed or with their eyes covered by their hat.
Okay.
They will sometimes have hands and feet.
Do they not have ears to keep their hats up?
Apparently, no. They need their nose to keep their hats up.
Okay.
And then there are the gnomes that originated from German, which will have faces.
Well, I like his little face.
He is a garden gnome. Okay. He has a face.
Does he scare off like chipmunks and raccoons and stuff, or?
Why would anybody or anything want to scare off chipmunks and raccoons?
Why would anybody have an enormous wiener that they can't use?
Because they were cursed by Hera.
Well, maybe
their mama made Hera mad.
Well, maybe his mom made Hera mad in Germany. You didn't tell me?
No, she didn't. I'm going to tell you, though. Okay. So we're going to start with the Scandinavian gnomes.
Right.
They have different names.
I would hope so.
In Norway, they are called nissers.
Nissers?
In Finland, this little guy, he came all the way from Finland.
Awesome.
I had
a
friend running around all over Europe through the entire month of June. And he brought him back for me.
Awesome.
His name is Finn because he's from Finland.
Oh, I see where you're going with that.
Because he is from Finland, he is not a gnome. He is a tomtu.
Tomtu.
And if they come from Sweden, they are a tomte.
Am I supposed to remember all this? Is there going to be a test?
There will be a test at the end.
I'm going to flunk that one bad.
Right. You can flunk that one.
Okay.
They are thought to have originated from Nordic mythology.
Okay.
which was actually inspired by Germanic mythology and folklore. But in German or in Nordic mythology, there were house spirits. And a house spirit,
Did they have arms and legs?
they were spirits. I don't know.
Okay.
They probably had nothing but a white sheet.
Wispiness.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
A white sheet in an eerie, echoey voice.
Spookiness.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
The house spirit was thought to be the spirit of the original owner of the home. Or
What if the original owner is still alive?
Well, he's not a house spirit yet.
Okay.
But he will be.
House spirit in training?
Yes.
Is he working on it? Is he going to get there
However,
someday?
Probably.
Okay. Does he have to die in the house?
No.
Oh, okay. He can just die
Anywhere.
somewhere and then.
Yep. And so the house spirit is the original owner of the home or the original owner to farm the land.
What if it's the person who built the house? That's not necessarily the first owner.
Not the person who built it, the person who lived there and took care of the house.
Well, good thing, because what if it was somebody who built a lot of houses? Then how would you know where his spirit went to? Would they have to divide up?
Yeah.
I mean, we could make this into a big discussion.
So
you're just going to ignore that, aren't you?
We're
going to keep on going.
We're going to keep on going because I don't even know what to say. Okay. The builders don't get to haunt anything except for the house they lived in.
What if they didn't build it?
As long as they owned it first and took care of it, they are
so
their
they have
house
to take
spirit.
care of it.
Mm-hmm.
What if they don't pick up their socks? That's not taking care of it.
They would stick around and protect the land and home for future generations.
Right.
At some point, these gnomes needed a physical representation, so they kind of adapted into these little guys
with furry beards and little noses and hats.
Yes, so the hats are important
because
they are always cone shaped.
Why?
So they can burrow into the ground.
Like that. I never thought that. I just thought it was more convenient.
No.
Maybe it's easier to build a hat like that.
So the gnomes that kept the land safe.
Yes, ma'am.
Lived in the ground. They burrowed in the ground.
Okay.
Which is why they have the pointy hat, so they can use it to dig. Burrow.
Are all their hats green? Like fins?
No, they have different colored hats which depict different things.
Such as?
I don't know. I didn't really pay attention to it.
You know I'm going to ask these things.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
I wasn't too worried about it.
Thanks.
So
it's a bunch of bullshit. You know that.
I do. They burrow in the ground.
You just can keep going.
Help the crops grow.
Not answering any of my questions.
I know it.
Mm-hmm.
They are also sensitive to sunlight, which is why their hat is always covering their eyes.
Why don't they like the sun? The sun makes things grow.
Well, because they live underground.
All the time?
All the time.
Unless they come out?
Unless they come out.
Then that's not all the time.
Most of the time.
Okay. Gotcha.
So their eyeballs are sensitive to the sunlight.
Like moles?
Like moles.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okie doke.
And I wish I would have written down why, but the different colored hats do mean different tasks they're in charge of.
What would you say green is in charge of?
Does
he have a green thumb? If he had a thumb, would it be green?
I didn't see green.
Oh, okay.
There was gray, like the traditional, original. There was gray, red, and blue.
Okay.
Hats.
Is this closer to gray or closer to blue? What would you say?
I would say probably blue.
Because of the making it green. Yeah, okay, I get you. Okay.
I would call it closer to blue.
And Petty's little beard.
They are the oldest and most popular fairy tale creature in the Scandinavian culture.
Okay.
And
what's number 2? You didn't look, did you? No, you don't care. No. Okay. That's fine.
They're probably fairies.
Okay.
But I don't really know.
All right.
They like all of those little critters.
Yes, yes, gotcha.
They are masters of magic and they enjoy pranks.
From underground.
They come out.
But you said they're in the ground most of
They
the
are
time.
in the ground most of the time.
Are they down there perfecting their magic
I don't
tricks?
know. I kind of pictured, like Bugs Bunny when he goes to get a carrot and it drops down in the ground real fast.
Oh,
That was probably
that's
a gnome. A Scandinavian gnome.
Gotcha. Okay. Pulling a prank.
Yeah.
From underground.
From underground.
Gotcha.
They help throughout the year,
With?
protecting the land and the home with protection.
Very good.
Keeping the evil spirits away.
Gotcha.
And at Christmas time, it is tradition to set out a bowl of porridge for them as a thank you.
We're not a culture big on porridge these days.
The Scandinavian is for
I'm
their
just
gnomes.
saying.
They also believe in Santa Claus.
Don't we all?
But the gnome also brings gifts. Unless you forget his porridge. And then he doesn't. And he's kind of mad about it.
Is he a good gift giver? Is it something I'd want? Or was it like, here's some mud? I don't really need that. I've got a yard full of that. But if they, brought like a tricycle or
maybe they brought seeds.
Oh, okay.
To plants.
Okay. We'll accept it.
Or house plants.
Oh, you would be all over that.
I would.
You're gonna have to leave porridge out tonight.
I'm gonna leave all the porridge out.
Well, I guess at Christmas. Every night.
Every night. I have a lot of gnomes.
And you have a lot of house plants.
I do.
Your family's gonna disown you because they're gonna take over everything.
As long as they don't take the plants.
You and the plants.
Good.
Against the world.
It's me and my plants against the world. And the gnomes.
And the gnomes. The gnomes will be there.
They will.
Watching out for their plants.
They will.
Getting their porridge.
Mm-hmm.
Being happy about it.
Yeah. This little guy my daughter brought back for me.
From
Seattle.
Oh, cute.
Looks from like some
glass
shop.
Oh, he is glass.
Yes. He's blown glass. He is cute.
So
everybody
cute.
gets me gnomes. Or houseplants. Because those are my two favorite things.
I don't think I've gotten you a house plant either.
You haven't. You get me garden stuff and other stuff.
Apparently not.
You got me a garden light.
I did.
And you give me jewelry a lot too.
It's my thing.
It is. I love jewelry too.
But you make jewelry, so me giving you jewelry is
I don't make the jewelry you give me.
Well, no, but you could make your own jewelry. You'd be like, why is she giving me jewelry? Look at all this jewelry I have.
I have never thought that at all.
Oh, good.
I love them all.
Oh, good. Okay. I like the jewelry you make me. I have some in my purse.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I'm glad you like it.
Just in case I want to throw it on.
I understand. Sometimes you just need to.
Do gnomes like jewelry? They don't like it. Do you know that for sure?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe if
they're pretty plain little guys.
Little necklace around the top of his hat here would be very charming and shiny.
Yeah.
He says no.
Mm-mm. Their clothing is reminiscent of the 17th century scandi style.
Okay. Scandi, is that a word?
It is.
Is it a word now?
No, it's a for real word.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Which suggests their evolution from spirit to a physical being started around the 17th century.
Right.
They are hard workers, but they will prank lazy workers, and they can be mean if you disrespect the land, harm an animal or a child.
Oh, good.
Or if you make big changes to the land or home.
Oh, I'm all on board with that. I don't like changes.
I don't either.
No, and don't hurt animals or children.
Right.
You can rot in hell.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So they will help you get there.
Right on. That's fantastic.
I know it.
Okay, I approve.
Okay. She approves of you, right?
I'm just saying. Yeah,
you have Carol's approval.
Good job. Good job.
They are excited.
Okay.
You can't see their smile,
but
I'm sure it's there.
I don't think it probably is. I think they're just going to remain stoic.
Nordic mythology didn't really take shape until between 8 and 900 AD.
Right.
It is significantly younger than Christianity.
Gotcha.
However, Christianity didn't really reach or infiltrate that region until around 1100 AD.
Okay.
They were largely influenced by German culture. from
The
when
little German guy.
the
right here.
Germans,
We'll
yes,
set him apart a little bit.
got there.
Right.
Their Norse mythology was largely oral. It wasn't really written until it started being infiltrated by Christianity.
Gotcha.
At that point is when they started really writing things down because it was being taken away.
Oh.
There were a few records written prior to 1100 AD, but not many. However, it was largely influenced by German, which kind of
Shows his
influenced
face.
their depiction, their physical depiction of the
Gotcha.
gnomes, the house spirits.
Gotcha.
German gnomes, they were around for a long, long time.
Okay.
They rose in popularity in the 1700s.
Okay.
They started being sold regularly for their gardens in the mid 1800s. There were primarily two manufacturers.
Which were?
I didn't write the names down.
Of course you didn't.
One made wooden gnomes and the other made terracotta.
Okay. Important distinctions.
Uh-huh. They were based on a mythological creature from the Renaissance alchemy.
Ah.
Which had a belief of gnomes, which that is what they were actually called, gnomes, who
Did
worked.
they spell it gnomes with a G?
Yes.
Is that where that came from?
Yes.
The silent letter.
Which I believe is Greek in origin.
But you say the G in Greek.
You do.
Why don't you say the G in gnome?
You probably did at one time.
Gnomes.
I don't know. That would be an interesting
May have to look that up.
thing to look into.
Yes.
But their gnomes worked in mines. They played pranks on miners.
You mean under 18 or
The people who
worked in the mine?
Yes.
I just wanted to be clear.
Yeah, not young people, the people who worked in the mines.
They might play pranks on young people as well.
They probably did.
I mean, you know.
I don't think they checked ID or anything because
Don't
I
think
mean
they'd
at
go
this
out
time they had a lot of miners.
Probably didn't want to go pick on a
Working.
6-year-old.
No, but
It's
there were
just-
probably 6-year-olds in that mine.
Ew.
I mean, at the time, they're
Yeah. How sad.
yes.
Hopefully the gnomes just helped them escape and went on to live in gardens and
Perhaps they did.
maybe they were 6-year-olds out playing in the garden.
Perhaps they did. Perhaps gnomes are the reason children don't have jobs anymore.
Other than just
And
being
if
children.
that's the case, I'm kind of upset with you guys about that because I have to pay for the 3. Actually, I only have to pay for 2 now because one does have a job, but she didn't have a job until she was 18.
That's right.
Which was my fault because I wouldn't let her have a job until she turned 18 because I wanted her to enjoy childhood.
Yeah, same.
But anyway,
Yes.
That's not the point. The point is they didn't work. And I'm mad about it right now. Stupid gnomes.
Look what you did. Influenced a culture.
We just made that whole thing up and got mad about it.
Yes. Yes. No, my kids didn't work either until they were out of high school.
I did
are
let
home.
her.
They can have their parents.
I let
if
Ainsley
they
get
were
a job her senior year.
If they were ungrateful little creeps, then it'd be like, get out and get a job. But school, sports, things like that, friends.
Yeah.
It was important.
It was. And that's what I told her. You're going to work every day for the rest of your life.
Yes.
Why do you want to start right now?
Yeah.
When I make enough money to make sure you have gas in your car and food in your belly you don't need.
No, it'll come soon enough.
Yep.
Yep.
So, anyway, that is beside the point.
Back to the miners.
That
aren't the young ones, but we made a distinction there.
Yes.
So let's go ahead.
If the miner was good-natured about the pranks they pulled, they would reward them by depositing a large vein of whatever ore or mineral they were searching for.
I see. So if you have a sense of humor and you can take a joke, I'm going to help you out.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's
a test.
Yes.
Oh.
This was alchemies. belief, which, they were always trying to turn everything into gold. And they were kind of, they needed help, I guess, because they never mastered that art, but
they may have, and they just didn't tell anybody.
that's a possibility.
I wouldn't tell anybody. Would you?
No.
You tell
my
me.
Gold. I would tell you.
Our gold.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They kind of mixed that belief of the gnome with the Germanic folklore creature called a dwarf.
Right. Oh, I can
see. Possessed magical tools that made them master craftsmen.
Like in Lord of the Rings.
Yes. Yes. Lord of the Rings, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Yes. They were diamond miners.
They were diamond miners, yes. But the dwarfs were tiny people that possessed magic.
Not narrow.
Right.
They're usually depicted as pretty hefty.
Yes.
But short.
See.
Well, maybe it's cold and he's got a coat on and another coat and then a t-shirt under that. I'm just saying. You gotta layer up when it's cold out.
That's true.
He's from Germany. True. He doesn't want to die.
The skilled craft varied by region.
Okay.
They were blacksmiths.
You drawing a blank?
Written more stuff down.
Miners,
blacksmiths, things that are crafted. Furniture makers,
leather goods.
They did things like
Maybe
that.
They had some farriers in there.
Perhaps.
Well, I think shoeing a horse would be something you would want to get right.
Right.
It takes a skill.
It's
not
does.
Something I could walk out there and do.
You don't just walk out and hammer a nail into the foot of a horse without knowing what you're doing.
It's ill-advised.
It is.
They'll kick you in the damn face.
They will.
Bye-bye.
They kind of get mad about it.
They do. I would too. Don't pound a nail in my foot.
So these German gnomes, this little guy with his face.
With the face.
Made their way to England in 1874.
Was it like a mass migration? Did they all go?
No, only 21 of them did.
By 21. You don't know.
I don't know. However, what I do know is that Sir Charles Ishman, who was a baronet of Lambton Hall in Northamptonshire.
Okay. Those are all some crazy words you just spit out.
And very specific.
Yes.
Did you notice?
I did. I don't have any questions for you right at the moment.
No, none.
Keep going.
No questions.
Woo-hoo.
He went on holiday in Germany in 1874.
Okay.
While he was there, he discovered
this guy.
Their little gnomes. And he brought back 21 terracotta gnomes to his home, to Lambton Hall.
Did they guard the house?
Well, that was his intent.
Like Spiderwick.
He set them around the dining room table.
All 21 of them?
Apparently.
Why were they in the house?
That is what his wife said.
She's like, why the hell is it?
She did not like them.
It's like, why are your shoes on the table? Why is the mail here? Why do you throw stuff on the table when I just have to pick it up? She's like, where did all these little shorty guys come from?
Right. They were little 3-inch tall gnomes that he set around the kitchen table. And she was like, I don't want the little creepy tiny people sitting on my dining room table.
Take them outside.
Because, she is all fancy and
and they were
hosted dinner parties and everything like that. And she's like, no, nobody wants to see that crap.
Nope.
And she made him take them outside.
Was she cursed then?
No.
Did they play pranks on her?
They didn't. So he had gorgeous gardens all over Lambton Hall. That was his pride and joy, but not typical plant gardens. He had rock gardens. And when I say rock, I don't mean little pebbles. He had gigantic boulders of quartz. And
did he have a great big fat diamond out there?
I don't know about a great big fat diamond. I do know he had quartz. It was mentioned several times in several articles written about his garden at the time.
Okay.
And big rocks. And he had it all set out pretty. And he put his 21 terracotta gnomes in his favorite rock garden that he could see out his bedroom window.
Did he put them like around rocks, and were they holding hands to try to
preserve
posed
them? So the gnomes at this time were depicted doing their work. So they were always holding their magical tools.
Like a magic wand.
Like
Cloak
a
of
pickaxe
invisibility.
or
those magical. Okay,
yes,
it's not really magical.
garden tools, things like that. So he posed them in his rock garden like they were actually working.
Interesting.
He was very proud of it.
Did he later get a visit from a psychiatrist?
No,
Okay.
he later he got visits
From
before and after this happened from different journals, magazines, and newspapers at the time who were always writing about what they nicknamed Lampy House. When the gnomes made their appearance, when they moved into the rock garden, the journals at the time wrote about them quite a bit because they thought they were quirky and cute or weird, or
didn't think he was necessarily out of his mind.
Some did, some didn't.
Okay. Not that makes him a bad person.
Right.
It could be a lot of fun.
They ended up being a popular feature amongst nobility.
Oh.
In Great Britain.
Because of the quirkiness?
Uh-huh.
Okay. They are rather quaint little things. I mean,
Aren't they? They are just adorable.
Yeah. You put them out in your garden at Buckingham Palace and, aw.
So as far as the superstition and the folklore in Britain, which later from Britain came here to America, we don't really have that. We just think they're cute and quirky.
Yeah. Probably got some out in the garden or someplace.
Yeah.
I'm sure you do.
I do. And my grandma did, and my great-grandma did, and I have all of the cement gnomes that were outside of my great-grandma's farmhouse.
Gotcha.
And then my grandma's house, and we painted them every summer, which is probably why I like them so much, because I have fond memories of painting the lawn gnomes with my grandma as a child. But
and probably as a grown-up as well.
We didn't. Once she got sick, we tried one year, but we just didn't get done. Anyway, we here don't really have the folklore. We have them just really for the appearance and the cuteness of them.
The cuteness.
But they originated because they were helpful.
And little garden warriors.
And little garden warriors and little home warriors. They warded off evil spirits. They protected. This little guy, which is how they are typically dressed, is actually of Scandinavian influence.
His belt is very sassy.
They are usually depicted in solid color pants and a solid color shirt.
No florals, no paisley.
Right. Just plain with the boots and the belts and the cone-shaped hat.
Don't forget the hat.
Because these two areas, Germany and Scandinavia, and the way Europe was laid out, I mean, everything was owned by everybody at some point. And there were, anyway, so the cultures kind of influenced each other.
Okay.
So the physical appearance of the gnome, the Scandinavians got from the Germans. But the Germans used the Scandinavian
everybody borrowed
style.
Everybody borrowed.
Yes. So this
came up with their own.
Exactly. This is traditional apparel of Scandinavia in the 8, 9, 10, 1000 AD. That this is how they would typically dress minus the hat.
Okay. But not anymore.
And not anymore.
No. Now they're strictly German. And if you can see their feet, then they're not.
Actually, they will have feet. Sometimes. Mine don't. I do have some that have feet and arms. I just brought the smaller ones.
Gotcha.
What makes the you'll know a Scandinavian one because they will not have visible eyes.
Then I have a Scandinavian one on
You
mine.
do.
Oh, he does have eyes.
Oh, that's cute.
Look at that.
That's cute. He has eyes in there. They're
he
just
has
covered.
googly eyes. Okay, here we'll.
That's awesome. I hadn't noticed that.
Yes, it's a good little choice. Finn. Okay, there we go.
He made a good choice. Yes. I do love Finn. And Dainsley made a good choice with hers.
Yes, good choices all around.
Yes. And this one, my administrative assistant got me.
Cool.
She also made a good choice. He is very cute.
He is very cute.
So
Did we cover it?
That is what I know about gnomes.
A lot.
A lot.
Yes.
It was just a conglomerate of lots of different pieces of folklore from here and there. That
Tons of information that we just kind of squish it all together.
we did. That is the history of gnomes.
Right on.
And if you ever want to buy me a present, a gnome is a good thing to buy.
Okay, thanks for the hint. I'll stop buying you jewelry. I'll just buy
I love
you
jewelry
gnomes.
too. Buy me jewelry
Buy
too.
you gnome jewelry. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us.
And learning.
Please be sure to like and subscribe. Leave us a comment. We love that.
We do love that.
As long as they're nice. We don't really like the not nice ones.
Yeah, keep this to yourself. Because we're just going to not care.
If you feel like you need to insult us, go right ahead.
Kristen will read them. And
I will read them and then I'll delete them.
Yeah.
And giggle a little bit.
Yeah.
And think, oh, you need a job or something. But whatever.
Need a
Leave
hobby.
us a nice comment and I will comment back to you.
Right on. Mm-hmm. Until next time.
Mwah. Tuesdays for Superstitions and Saturdays for Am I the Asshole? And Carol loves you.
I do.
Mm-hmm. And I have a fondness.
She does.
The end.
Right on.